Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. We have a very special guest with us today. She's a nail artist. Please welcome Telly Talons. Hello, Telly. Welcome to the show.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. So I want to go ahead and get started with this interview by asking, where are you originally from and how did you get started in the nail industry?
So I am from New York. How did I get started? It was really random actually. I had just graduated from high school, was in college. I was on a winter break and the school that I went to, the break was from December to March. So it
Mhm.
was very long and in the midst of that, I'm just like, I don't want to go back to school. Like there's just no way that I'm going back to school.
Right.
And um I was thinking of a different business venture at the time, and it focused on like my nails showing a lot. So I was like on Pinterest looking at nail designs, like, let me
Right.
see. But I'm like, the nail designs that I was seeing, I'm like, "Ugh, I hate this. Like, what is this? Like, so then I came across like this editorial picture of nails, of a nail concept, and I was like, oh my God, like I can do this. Like, so then I told my mom, I'm not going back to college. I want to go to nail school. And she was pissed off. She was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Oh, Lord.
no, yeah, she was not having it. And so I like used my money, paid for
Mhm.
school, and then now I'm here. Now she's so happy.
That's great. That's really, really cool. Now, who are like your favorite nail artists that you look up to that you've been looking at like on social media or just wherever?
Um, Okay, I love Hot Nail 66. She is, I think she's based in Canada. She is like so experimental. She actually just made nails like out of like the cell phone, the old cell phone keypads. I love her.
Mhm.
Like I love any nails that are like super experimental. Let me see who else. I feel like I've been put on the spot. Um, I love Soja nails. You know, she's very like again that experimental. Like she made the raindrop nails really popular.
Mm.
Um, the wet look. Um, whom else? I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like I don't really like to look at a lot of nail tech's work because then it like makes me feel like I have so much pressure. Like, oh my gosh, like, or and also too, like, it's like I want to be inspired by what I see, and it's
Right.
okay to be inspired by other people's work, but then it
Mhm.
starts to look similar. So I try to like,
Mhm.
keep at a minimum. So I feel like those are the two people off the top of my head that I do like.
Oh, that's really, really cool. Yeah, like there's a lot of nail art that's experimental now, like with the raindrop nails, then you got the simplistic tribal nails. So
Hmm.
that's really on trend, especially like the snail eyes. That's
Yeah.
going on.
So it's like I love to see because it's like wow, you see people got inspired. Like, I don't know how, it came about, but I could just imagine like it's raining, you see the raindrop on your windows, and you're like, I could put that on nails. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I really love that.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. I love the trends that's coming out now. It's so cool. So in terms of your nail style, how could you describe like your nail style? How do you like to do like nail art?
Well, it's funny that you asked this because I feel like I definitely just came to a conclusion. I feel like my nails are very it does have a 90s feel, but it's
Right.
very regal at the same time. Like I feel like it's very especially with the jewels, I feel like it's a very like royal vibe to it
Mhm.
that I absolutely love. I feel like I give 90s aesthetic because of the curve. Obviously, my most famous picture is my curve nails. So, but I
Mhm.
still feel like it still looks like nails for like royalty.
Right.
So, I do feel like I make nails for fly girls who want a royal feel. So I put in my bio I make nails for the regal and fly. That's what I make.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It gives a very 90s vibe. That's what I like about it. It gives that nostalgia. And I definitely want to get into in terms of like your nail business. So how did you start your press on nail business?
Okay, so I from the jump when I started doing nails, I was like, I want to be an editorial nail tech.
Mhm.
And I couldn't really figure out, I was working at a salon at the time and I couldn't really figure out how were they gluing the nails? Were they actually laying? Because at first I started with acrylic. Then I moved on to Gel X via the salon and just like what, it was easier.
Right.
So one day my friend, she did a photo shoot. She asked me to do nails. So I ordered these like cheap nails from Amazon and I just was like polishing them, whatever. Okay. And then I came up with that. Then as I'm progressing and doing nails, I got a studio with my cousin and her friend. I'm in the studio with my friend and I'm like, let me just do your nails. Like, let me just make you press-ons. And so I made her press-ons. We had a little mini photo shoot and then I was like, oh, I'm going to do press-ons. So,
yeah. Oh, that's really, really cool. Now, in terms of like for someone that wants to get into the press-on nail business, how does one sell and market their press-on nails?
I'm still learning. Oh my gosh. One thing I know for certain is you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent and you have to have like eye-catching nails. I see like I also feel like you have to create your own aesthetic. I can't describe what the nail aesthetic is, but I feel like if you ever look though, you kind of see like a lot of people will do nails and then have the graphics of the nails in the background. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would Photoshop whatever they were inspired by and put it in the background of the nails. Like I feel like that is like a very common aesthetic. So I feel like I've marketed myself to have my own aesthetic. If you look at like everything on my Instagram is very intentional. Like I make sure that it like tells a story. So I would say have your brand tell a story, good quality, like a camera that makes all the difference, and being consistent, which I am not consistent, but we're learning.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, consistency is key. And I'm working on that as well, being consistent. And especially with marketing, you have to use social media and put yourself out there and seek people out in terms of like the work that you do. So that's very, very important.
And it's challenging though because
Right.
I'm on a machine, right? Like, and I feel like when there are people who are posting every day and have nails every day, it starts to get very trendy. I'm someone I like one of one. I want you to feel like, oh, I haven't seen these nails anywhere else or whatever. But
Right.
like you're consistently, you have to eventually, like do what everyone else is doing. So I feel like that's my struggle. I want like quality over quantity. But you really do have to like find a balance somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to get into in terms of like owning a salon or working in a salon. So what has been your experience in terms of working in a salon, especially how you've dealt with clients?
I worked in one salon and I've never worked in a salon again. I hated it. Hated it. I started working in a salon fresh out of nail school. So I really didn't know what I was doing. And I was lucky enough to have a boss that like took me in and was like willing to be patient and teach me. But in a salon, you have to move quick
Right.
because at the end of the day, this is your money. Like it's a hustle. You know what I mean? So um, definitely have to move quick. And I'm so slow. So that just wasn't like working out. And then with moving quick too, like I feel like when I'm one on one, if I'm in my own studio, I have time to chat with you and to really like, feel it out, mess up a couple times. But at a salon, people gotta go. You know what I mean? So it's just like, especially in New York, everybody's always on the move. So definitely my experience in the salon, I really didn't like it. I did get to meet really good people though, but I don't think it's like, it's not for everyone.
Yeah. I could definitely agree. It's not for everybody. Yeah, you do have to move quick. And I worked in a spa salon when I was in my last year of college, and you got to get clients in and out and,
Yeah.
do people's
And make
manicures
sure
and
that the work
pedicures.
is still pristine because you can rush and it could look terrible, but you got to rush and make sure it's neat.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's time management. That's the big thing. So, you deal with like a lot of different personalities. You have to understand what the client wants, especially if they want any nail art. And yeah, you got to interact and you got to be on the move. Like how you said, you got to be quick.
And the thing about it is because oh my God, the worst thing about working in the salon, I don't know if you can agree, was the toes for me. Because when it was time to do feet, especially like in the summertime. I remember I had this one client, this man, and his toes nails were so long, like they curved, and I was clipping them, and like things were coming out, like things, I don't know, whatever was under his toes, like were coming out, and I hate doing feet. Like I'm a nail tech that does not like doing feet because I just get so traumatized. Like, oh my God. There's so many different types of clients that you can run into who don't take care of themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
it shows. And so like I feel like that's also a part of the salon world too. Like you have to really have a tough skin and be able to cater and see different things, because we've had homeless people come in and like obviously they're homeless, like this is not something that they do all the time, and it's like you have to like keep a strong face and make them feel good at the end. So that was also a part of the nail culture too. Like I don't know if you could relate to that, but
Like for me, it's kind of the opposite. I don't have an issue with doing anyone's feet. And the
okay.
thing is, with like how you said, you do have to have tough skin with dealing with different types of clients. And of course, people coming with different nail beds, different disorders and things like that. And it's just understanding how to, interact with them, how you can service them, if there's a possibility that you can service them. So that's most definitely understandable, and also very, very important, because you have to understand safety and sanitation. You have to understand biohazard. You have to understand those things in terms of keeping not only the client safe, but also yourself safe.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like me coming out of the way that I'm describing it, I'm thinking of like when I came out of nail school, because when I was in nail school, it wasn't really as hands on for some reason.
Mm,
I feel like it was like you had to teach yourself at the end of the day. Like I feel like school was just for right learning the safety hazards, the do's and the don'ts, and that. But the whole like having interactions with clients in my school, we didn't really have that. So when I'm in
yeah.
the salon and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't prepared for this, you know?
Yeah, I could definitely agree, because I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I took cosmetology courses in high school. So
Okay.
before I went to art school, I went to SCAD, Savannah College Art and Design. Before I went to art school, I got my cosmetology license. And you have a good point, because within beauty school in general, they don't teach you a full depth in
Mm-mm.
terms, especially in the nail sector. You only know a small part. So like with me, I'm the same way. Even before I jumped into cosmetology classes, I learned some stuff on my own. And especially afterwards, I'm still learning stuff on
Still
my own.
learning stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And you see, you went to school for cosmetology, so you learned hair and all that. I went to it was a cosmetology school, but there was a
Mhm.
nail program. I even went to a nail program, and it still wasn't as like hands on as you would think. Like people think like, oh, okay, like we didn't learn about gel X nails in school, but that's something that you should know about. You should know how
Right.
to, they're different techniques. So I feel like you definitely still have to teach yourself. You're your teacher for the rest of your career.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also too, like they only teach you like acrylic, they only teach you like about like certain like manicure, pedicure, like the basic stuff.
And outdated stuff too that I feel like you don't even,
Mhm.
I don't know, like people don't even use that anymore. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People don't use it as very much. I mean, people still use it, but it just has to be up to date. That's the biggest thing with state board. It's just stuff has to be up to date. The whole curriculum in itself, the practical and the
it's
theory.
outdated, I think. Like I feel like
Mm.
I don't know. I don't feel like, because of like when I go into a nail salon now, like the things that I was learning in school, I'm like, I've never really even seen this in the nail salon. And my teachers are like, yeah, like when I back in my day, and you're talking about the 90s, like we're in the 20s now. Like, you know what I mean? So
Mm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that, because especially with the hours, they worry about like the hours you have to pass, not really to get you fully equipped for the industry.
Exactly. Exactly.
So like that's the thing. I definitely believe that the whole beauty education system has to be improved. And it is improving just on the state board level. It has to be improved.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the thing with that. And especially understanding nail care, because I took a course with Vanity Projects where they talked about not only the different types of nail designs, but also talked about like nail prep, because nail prep, that was something I want to improve on. And that's very, very important.
And literally, It's funny that you said, because I want to take a course because I feel like I need work. Like I feel like I haven't been in school, and that's another thing. You graduate school and what, you never go back. Like you still need to be in workshops. You still need to be like
Mhm.
learning from other people. And I feel like nail prep is so important. Like it's it's the foundation of the nail. This will determine if your nails are gonna come out good or not, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of editorial photo shoots, so you're an editorial nail artist, like how you said earlier, and I want to get into your collaboration with Black Fashion Fair. So I want you to talk about the whole story as to how that happened. Like, how did that whole opportunity happen?
Oh my gosh. So, Vogue Korea mimicked my work, and they came out. So this picture here, Black Art,
Mm-hmm.
they did their own version of that, and I posted it on Instagram and Twitter, and it went viral on Twitter. And Antoine, who's the founder of Black Fashion Fair, he followed me on Instagram, and it's so crazy because I was already following him on Twitter, and
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna work with him one day. I don't know how. Like, and this was even before I even started doing nails, but I'm like,
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Followed me, and I'm like, I'm like freaking out. Like, I'm like, oh my God. And eventually Theophilio, I believe he's the brand director of that.
Mm-hmm.
They were having a fashion show, and he said, I would love for you to do the nails for me. He was like, I've always seen your picture, but I never was able to match the picture to a face or a brand. And he was like, so when he seen the Vogue Korea thing, like he was just happy to have the opportunity to finally like connect with me. And that's how that happened. And it was like such a great experience. It was so thrilling and like
Mm-hmm.
such a rush. And I love a rush. Like I work best under pressure, in my opinion. So I was just like, oh my God, I was so excited. It was exciting.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I love how the photos turned out. They looked really, really amazing.
And okay, so Theophilia was the fashion show with the Rush. So with Black Fashion Fair, when we did the magazine, we had worked on that project for, well, I was a part of it for like a week, I would say. So every day we were getting there like 8 a.m. and just working until like maybe like 5, 6 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was just so amazing. Like you're in awe the whole time because you're seeing like, wow, like can you imagine, like the images were beautiful. Now imagine actually being there. So it was such
Mm-hmm.
an honor to be a part of that, and to be a part of something for the culture, for Black
Mm-hmm.
culture. That means a lot to me and my brand. And I don't know if anyone can tell, but like everything is centered around like Black culture with me. Like I want to make sure that that is clear and present in my brand at all times, no matter what I do, and no matter who I'm doing it for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's your whole take with fashion and nails coming together?
I love it. I think it's essential. And I absolutely detest when I see a campaign and their nails are not done. Like it's like the nails could have made this whole thing 10 times better. I think of nails as accessories. They're
Right.
like rings, they're like earrings, they're like sometimes all you need is the perfect earring to make this outfit pop. Sometimes you just need the perfect set to just bring it all together. So I
Mm-hmm.
love when I see brands hiring nail techs, doing cool nail art, because I also too like you can hire a nail tech to polish just a regular, gel manicure or something like that. But like, I
Right.
want to see nails. Like, I want to see tips. I want to see these quirky designs. Like, you know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
really love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I definitely agree. Like to have some pizzazz within that whole garment, it's cool to really have nails just as much of an accessory. Because of course, like how you said, we want something more than the red nail polish or just one color or just no polish. I don't like something minimalistic. I mean, of course, minimalistic is cool, but people like over the top things. And the thing is with C&D, which is one of the top well-known nail companies, they've collaborated with a nail brand called the Blondes,
Mhm.
and they've always done nails for their fashion shows. And as you can see, it's very over the top. It's
Yeah.
very opulent. It's very luxurious, like how you said, very royalty, like how your style is.
Mhm.
So it's definitely something that is just as much of a statement piece as the garment itself.
As anything else. And so whenever there's like a fashion, not even just fashion, like if it's like the Grammys or the Met Gala, I like to zoom in on the nails and I'll post it on my story like, hey guys, like look at this. And people will be like, wow, I never even paid attention to that. I never even thought, like, and I'm like, yes, realize, like, look at the nails, look at how, like, you know, I want people to really get into it. Like, it's more than just, because even when I first started working, when I first started like doing nails, everyone's like, oh, so you're just gonna work in a salon? No one even understood the concept of an editorial nail tech. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna do nails for fashion shows and music videos and this and that. And they're like, huh? Like what? You know, no one's even thinking of that. So I want people to really like incorporate nails into everything because it matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely an editorial, especially in fashion, like how we said before. With nails, I just love how it's becoming more opulent. And I love how people are getting into colors, the bright, bold colors. You know, it's really amazing.
It is. I agree. And I think as fashion moves forward, I feel like nails will be an essential. Like it would have, like it has to be a requirement.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of the whole thing with Black culture and nails, what impact, how big of an impact do you think that Black women have had within the nail industry?
All of it. All of it. I actually have a video on my Instagram of the first chain nail salon, about how a Black woman and an Asian woman came together and created that. It was the first, it's called Man Trap. It was the first nail salon chain and it was in California. So I feel like, and I put, in my description, I said, with the work ethic of the Asians and the creativity of the Black people, this is how this whole culture was born. And I feel like Black women are so innovative, and I feel like we're always coming up with like different things, and then everybody else is like, oh, okay, let me get on that. So I feel like Black people invented the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Flojo, who is the world's top sisters that was in track. You know, she always had her nails done.
Always had her nails done. Like, and I feel like that's so fly. Like, I love that, to like, you know, still, you don't care what anyone is saying. And like, you're like, and it's like, it's not something that's common. So of course it's like, you're drawing attention, and now everybody wants curved nails. So it's like,
yeah, absolutely. You know, and the thing is that this is all from the 90s, you know, and especially, you know, look at the ancient times, especially as well. You know, we have set the trends for a great amount of time. We set the trends. We set like, oh, this is what's hot. This is what's cool. You know what I mean? Anything that we wear, it's hot.
It's hot.
You know? So that's the thing. So the thing with nails, the bling, that was seen as ghetto. But now everybody wants bling on their nails.
Now everybody wants bling on their nails. And that's why with the whole Vogue Korea thing, I was like so upset, because in Asian culture, because I can't take away from the fact that Asians have contributed to nails as well. Like, come on. However, the curve aesthetic, that is something that Black women have done, and it was seen as ghetto. So for them to like put this in their editorial campaign and just like run with it as if like they, you know, it's just like, what's going on? Like, you know, I feel like Black women don't always get the credit.
Yeah. We should definitely get the credit. Absolutely. Yeah, that curvature of the nails. Yeah, we started that.
Yeah.
You know, the strokes and the colors, and you know, the jewelry. We made the jewelry hot, you know, especially, you know, the whole thing of accessories. You look at music videos of rappers that make jewelry hot, the cars.
Yeah, like everything, literally everything that's super cool now, we've been doing that. So I feel like I really do try to make it a point to emphasize on all aspects of that in everything that I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, is there anybody that you want to collaborate with? Any designer, any editorial you would like to collaborate with down the line?
Honestly, no. I will say, from working, like getting a glimpse into the fashion industry, working with Black Fashion Fair, I feel like was like my peak. Like, oh my God, like that is what I needed. Like, honestly, all I have to do, actually, I have to do nails for Rihanna, and then I would never do nails ever again. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, I'm done after that. But You realize, because I've always wanted a Vogue feature, and so when that situation with Vogue Korea happened, it kind of was just, why did I want this Vogue? What is this really for? Like, I just would
Right.
like to just keep it within the community, keep it in the culture, because you see, like, people are like, will exploit you and like use you for a trend for that moment and then not even care about you after. So I'm just on a path of just wanting to create like a timeless classic
Right.
and not be involved in a trendy trend. Like, so Rihanna is the only person that I would want to do nails for, and then that's it.
Oh, that's really, really cool. Now, what are some of your favorite nail products to use when you're doing like these cool, these beautiful like press-on nails?
Honestly, everything is so spur of the moment. I'm actually working on a set right now that is inspired by gold frames. And so like, or like when you like look at like castles and stuff like that, and the ceilings and that gold, I don't know what it's called. But I'm working on those. So that is like it's gonna be like 3D, obviously. So I have to work it over with the gel. Gel has become my favorite thing because it's just like acrylic. I don't know, for me, you have to work fast with acrylic, and
Right.
so gel, I could take my time. I could, turn it over and like, really
Right.
experiment with this. So I feel like, yeah, it's just honestly, a lot of the times when I do nails, like I don't even know how I came up with it. Like it's just me and my music at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just doing whatever.
Yeah, you're just going, right.
Yeah, in my zone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I agree too. Like I'm a gel person. I'm not a person that does like acrylic, because acrylic, like how you said, you have to work with it with a certain period of time, and then it gets hard.
Yeah.
And so the thing is with gel, like, you spend any type of time just working with it and it'll still be at its substance, so that's the thing. And like, I love 3D gel. I love painting with like acrylic paint. I like gel pots and things like that. So yeah, I'm a gel acrylic paint type person. That's the thing.
Okay. Do you actually paint?
Yeah, I paint with acrylic paint. I've competed in a couple of nail competitions. There's one that's called Nail Olympia, and I've done like a set of like 10 nails, and it's like a whole picture throughout the 10 nails.
I seen on your page that you had whole pictures, and I'm like, this is some cool stuff. Oh, I love that. But do you actually paint on a canvas? Like,
I don't really paint on the canvas. I'm more focused on digital. So I use like digital vector programs to do art and things like that. I am still traditional. I do still work with gouache here and there, but I've been working with Posca markers. Those are like acrylic paint markers to draw traditionally. So that's what I work with so far as of right now.
Oh, I love that. I've realized the people who can really, because one thing that I'm working on currently is my nail art in terms of like being able to actually paint out like images. And I realized that a lot of people who know how to do that, like know how to actually do it on a canvas, and now it's easier. You know who else is a really favorite of mine? Nails by Tad, or Nails Tad. She is immaculate. Like literally her work is like chef's kiss. So yeah, I really, and I feel like she must know how to draw in real life. Like if she nails so precise like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I looked at Nails by Tap. Her work is absolutely great. Also, there's another artist that can paint her behind off. Her stuff is so detailed. Her name is Maddox McCullough, but her name is Ball Pit Nails on Instagram. And I also did an interview with her, and her work is very, very detailed, very, very cool.
Like I love that. Like how did and some she puts how long it takes, and she's like 4 hours hand painted, and I'm just wow, because a lot of the times, and especially in the beginning, I was using like stencils or foils.
Right.
Definitely using foils. So to see people actually taking their time and like really painting, like I love that. And that's the level that I would want to excel to.
Yeah, most definitely. And like for me, like I love using like thin, like fine detail brushes to get that fine detail. And, I love to add color. Like I'm a very colorful artist. I use a lot of different colors. I like spreading happiness in my work. So yeah, that's really cool. Like I'm a gel person as much as you are. So, acrylic is not my strong suit.
Yeah, the acrylic, I don't know.
Yeah, it can be tough. So in terms of your perspective, what is your whole take of the progression of the nail industry and where it's going?
Um, Again, I feel like because in my realm, it's like fashion and nails. So
Mhm.
again, I'm really happy with the experimental looks of it all. Like I really feel like you're not when people are going to the nail salon, because I have friends, if I'm not available to do their nails, they're like, I went to the nail salon, I asked them if they could do this, and they couldn't do it. Like, and so I feel like it does put on pressure for nail salons now to step their game up because you have self-taught artists or you have people who are doing nails like at their own studio who
Mhm.
are really taking it out the park. So I'm really happy of where we're going. It's like you can literally do anything on nails now. Like
Mhm.
seriously. So I'm really happy with it.
Yeah. I'm glad that the nail industry is progressing. Of course, there has to be some improvements, but also too, I like how it's progressing with the products. I love how it's progressing with, like how you said, experimentation, and that's very, very cool. And a lot of nail artists who do press on nails, I like how they're charging what they're worth, because especially with press ons, you have to consider the time and the materials and the quality of the work that you're doing. I look at ball pit nails, like she charges $100 to $300 for a set of nails. So that's the thing. So I like how now we're establishing, understanding pricing and understand what we're worth.
And I'm happy you brought that up because that is something because I've only been doing nails for 2 years. So even like I like sometimes with like I don't really know every single product or I don't know things. And even with pricing, like I'm always super scared. But now this year I was like, forget that. Like I'm gonna charge what it's worth because even when like I'm sitting here, I'll mess up on the nail. I'll do it all over again, like 5 times over again until I get it right.
Mhm.
And when I'm gonna charge $50, like no, like this took time and effort. And even going to the nail supply store, I bought a top coat, I bought a gel pin and
Mhm.
stuff, and it's like $70. Like these things are expensive. So I'm happy that people are charging what they're worth because it's not, and especially nails, this is something that lasts. Makeup,
Right.
hair, anybody's willing to spend whatever on that. And that doesn't always last so as long as nails. So it's like, it's important that we really do speak up as nail techs because we're important.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely agree with that. And here's the thing, like hair costs like $300, $400. Nails, are just as much of a value as hair or anything else. And the thing is that some people find it an issue where we charge we're worth like $100 or so with these nails. It's like if you have no problem buying a purse or buying some Gucci shoes, then what's wrong with buying like a $200 pair of press-ons?
And the press-ons, because people always like, well, how long do they last? You can take these off. They can last for however long you keep them up for. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I keep my nails on if I'm not doing any nails. So if I'm not doing nails, I could leave my nails on for at least 3 weeks.
Mhm.
I could take these off. I made these nails. I want to say in March. I've been wearing them. I have press-ons that I've made in January that I still can put on and I can still use. You can't do that with makeup. You know what I mean? Like you can't. And you paying $200, sometimes $400 for makeup. That's only lasting
Right.
for a night. Like you know what I mean? So it's like, let's be fair. Let's be fair.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because the thing is, there again, like how we said before, nail art is just as much of an art statement. It's a work of art. It's by the work that you're wearing on your hands.
Yeah, that we took our time, and the nail beds are so small. Can
Hmm.
you know what I mean? It's not like a canvas where we get to paint. You really have to be meticulous, and so yeah, I do think that people need to just be a little bit more conscious of like the attitudes that they carry when it's time to pay for nails, because it's not a cheap experience at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And also too, more people should credit us, within what the nails that they wear. Like, you have celebrities like Sweetie and Megan Thee Stallion wearing these cool nails. And of course, they're shouting their techs out. And the thing is that I think more people should be shouting out people's work because that helps people get themselves out there.
Exactly. I actually just did nails recently and for this client, and she hasn't like tagged me in anything yet, and it's been bugging me because I'm like, these nails are great and I want people to know like I made that. And it's like it's not enough for me to just post, like, because everyone knows that whoever's following me knows, okay, she did this, but what about the other people? Like, give other people a chance to experience my work as well. So I think that is important too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really, really cool to see that a lot of these products are coming out, like the different gels, the 4D gel, and different types of different colors of just regular polish in itself, and especially the UV lamps, and also providing classes of how you can make a nail service a lot better with less time. So that's really, really cool to see that as well.
Do you still use regular polish?
I use it here and there. I'm mostly like a gel person, mostly.
Like, oh my God, I recently just gave away all of my regular polishes because I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. Like I use like regular polish sometimes on my nails. But in terms of doing press-ons, I use like gel and mainly that. Yeah. So
beginning, when I first started doing nails, I would use the regular polish to create a color that I didn't have maybe, and then wait for that to dry. Like absolutely, you have to wait and then put the gel polish over it so that it could last.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just like a little Picasso in here, and just like if I don't have a color, I'll just mix all my gels together and
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of success, how would you define success in your perspective?
Success. I feel like however you go, whatever whatever intentions you set, like I'm coming into this nail game to contribute to Black culture, and whatever intention you set, if you feel like every single time you're doing a set and that's what you're doing, that's success to me. Success isn't anything about monetary value or anything like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because whatever about your contribution to whatever it is that you're doing. So I feel like as long as you feel like you are happy with where you are, what you've done, like that's success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what you're doing because you're maintaining that representation, because I definitely think that's very important for the nail industry. Because the thing is, us as Black women, we've set the trends within the nail industry, and I think it's great that we're keeping Black culture within the nail industry alive.
Yes, exactly. Because it's so easy for people to create things nowadays, and you think that they created it without knowing where it really came from in the history. And not many people give credit to, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's important to like keep that alive. So, and even when you ask me like, well, who would you want to collab with and whatever, I feel like I used to think like, oh, I would be so successful if I collabed with Gucci to do their editorial campaign or whatever. But it's like, but is that contributing to my culture? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So are they going to be able to make money off of something that Black people did, and now it's like a trend amongst everyone else? You know what I mean? So it's just like to really keep it within us.
Yeah, absolutely. Collaborating with Black designers, Black-owned fashion magazines. I think that's the way to go, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Continue to do.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I think that's very important, is to circulate our money within our community and to make sure we're promoting ourselves, especially Black designers, Black nail artists, Black-owned everything.
Black-owned everything, exactly. And even like when working with Black Fashion Fair, it feels so good to be around an all Black production. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Black, this everything, and it's like you don't feel uncomfortable. You feel like you're free to be like, hey, let's try this. You want to try a curved nail? You want to do that? You know what I mean? Like it's you have the freedom to express yourself in the ways that you see fit to your culture. So
yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media, and how can people support your work?
okay, well, you can find me at Telly Talons on Instagram. You can support my work by emailing me to make you some custom press-ons. I'm always open and available. I'm working on my site right now. I'm redoing it, so that will be out soon. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Telly, for jumping onto the show. I love what you're doing. I love the 90s aesthetic and really I love how you're keeping Black culture alive. Thank you so much for jumping onto the show.
Having me. It was an honor.
You're most welcome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay beautiful.